with the night burning bright, yeah, no stop. Wheels scream and spit that fire, dirt and gravel, they pop. Oil slick under the street lights, the shadows start to dance. Adrenaline like thunder, man, give me that last chance. Wednesday night, street fights, racing for the win. Broken steel and busted dreams, we wear it on our skin. Smell the fumes, taste the danger, hold tight to the wheel. This ain't no love song, baby, this is raw real. Crowds gather up like wolves, howling for that speed. Races blood pumping fast, gasoline is all they need. Tracks alive like a monster, the dirt flies and bends. Ruthless turns, heart turns savage till the night ends. Wednesday night, street fights, racing for the win. Broken steel and busted dreams, we wear it on our skin. Smell the fumes, taste the danger, hold tight to the wheel. This ain't no love song, baby, this is raw real. Underneath the moonlight, crowds roar so loud. Pride's in the throttle, not in faces of a crowd. A brotherhood of metal, sweat, gears that grind. Cross that line or get left behind. Cold air cuts the dawn, still our fires rage. Holding bruises like trophies, exhaling battle cage. The stands are empty now, but the ghosts they remain. This dirt track story sings forever in our veins. Wednesday night, street fights, racing for the win. Broken steel and busted dreams, we wear it on our skin. Smell the fumes, taste the danger, hold tight to the wheel. This ain't no love song, baby, this is raw real. This is raw real.
Woo! Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome in. As we get ready to rock and roll, we get ready to go to battle here this afternoon with the amazing Dirt Warrior Racing League live from Oswego Speedway. As these drivers get ready to rumble, they get ready to go to battle. Practice has come to a close. Drivers out there on the racetrack right now for their qualifying sessions. You see some of those drivers already laying down some very good lap times, putting themselves up towards the front of the field, and each and every one of them looking to try to put themselves up and into the winner's circle. D-Jack Tyler Jackson, the Alpha Shark, out there on the speedway right now with that quick time, as we do see Dale Farnes jump up into the 8th position. Still waiting for a few more drivers to qualify here this evening. Kyle Surratt still rolling out there on the speedway. Surratt looking to try to lay down a great lap time. We'll see Marco's pace. He's about to roll out onto the racetrack. Here comes that TNT Racing 47 ride sliding out there onto the speedway. So a couple drivers left here to qualify this afternoon. Is Surratt down across the start-finish line, and he's going to jump up and into second. Great lap right there for Kyle Surratt. Surratt up and into position number 2 there. A great lap for him and slides right in behind Tyler Jackson. T-Jack, he may have his hands full here this afternoon. That JP Designs Bulletproof Motorsports number 18 machine is looking very, very good here this afternoon. Marco's Pace getting ready to lay down his lap time. We'll see what he can do out there on the racetrack as Marco's looking to try to lay down a great lap here himself, looking to find that extra little bit of speed, see if he can try and put himself up inside the top couple spots here on the racetrack. He's down across the line here. Looks like he's going to get his session started and looking to try to lay down a great lap here on the racetrack as the TNT Racing ride barrels down the back straightaway into corner number 3. Nice and easy down low through that slick stuff. Down through the middle of 3 and 4 and out of 4. Back down across the start finish line here. Looked like a pretty decent lap right there from Marco's Pace. Pretty solid lap. Pretty good one right there. And he'll jump up into 4th. Great lap right there for Marcos as Marcos jumps up into position number 4. But it's T-Jack, Tyler Jackson here with the quick time. His Mama Bear, Susie Dickinson coming in with that heart reaction over there on Facebook. Brycey Bear coming in showing the love as well. Says, I struggle here. Brycey Bear, you don't struggle here. You'll be all right. You'll be all right. I'm sure by the end of the night we're going to see you up there at the front of the field as Mama Bear says, let's go. Boys cheering on all the boys here this evening as Brycey Bear also coming in with that heart reaction here in this one, showing the love again this afternoon. As here we go, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. It's going to get a little bit interesting. This is going to get a little bit fun, as Tyler Humphrey said, had to drop in. Best of luck, guys. I appreciate that, Tyler. I appreciate that, Mr. Humphrey, coming in, showing the love here in this one. And, yeah, these drivers, they're going to need maybe a little bit of luck, a little bit of skill out there on the racetrack to try to put themselves up and into the winner's circle here this afternoon at the track that we normally see built for that Super Dirt Week. And now drivers going to get the opportunity to slide out there on the racetrack, look to try to lay down some good laps here on the Speedway and see what they can do here for the start of this feature event, as they're going to get a little bit of extra time here to work on their race cars, make sure that they are absolutely perfect, that they are ready to rock and roll. They're ready to go to battle. You do see William Hargraves. He's out there onto the Speedway. See with Bryce Dickinson. There's that beautiful 618 engraving and designs. Papa Mike Promotions. Mama Bear number 84 ride is he's looking to try to find that extra little bit of speed, find that extra gear out there on the racetrack that he's been looking for to try to race his car up to the front of the pack. Adam Oxley out there as well. That 357 ride looking good as always. And you do see the 7 machine out there as well. Another great looking ride there for Jeremy Aikens. Aikens looking fast, looking good. And Jacob Stefanski, new looking ride here for him as well in that Sunrise Racing Tommy Gun Customs number 7X ride. Looking very fresh out there. I love the blue and yellow. I love the blue and yellow with that little bit of hinge of that gray in there. Those are like some of my favorite colors out there. I'm a huge purple guy. You change some of that out with some purple, I'd be all on board. Get rid of the blue, put purple in there, and I think that might look absolutely fire as well. As Stefanski right now showing some good speed here in this practice session. Lon Franks out there. It's Dirt Warrior Racing League iRacing iFlag. Number 10 ride looking hooked up again here this afternoon. Same with that 2 ride at Cameron Stefanski as he's got that Steve's Landscaping Sunrise Racing number 2 ride currently sits in 3rd here in this warm-up session. Jeremy Aikens going to pull his car off the racetrack as Hargraves and Cade Moreland and they're in that number 13 ride here, rolling to the outside, almost 3 wide right there, down into corner number 1. Cade able to keep that car pointed in the right direction, keeps on battling there on that outside lane as the Trading Paints number 13 ride rolls back there. Right now sits in 6th position here in this warm-up session. Marco's Pace, Adam Oxley, Bryce Dickinson, Kyle Surratt are top 10 as fastest cars out there on the racetrack. Then we see this beautiful number 29 ride. That's Lane Phillips himself here this afternoon in the Tommy Gun Customs Papa Mike Promotions number 29 ride back there in 11. Justin Johnson, good to see Justin out there. That TNT Racing number 38 ride hooked up again here this afternoon, looking fresh as always out there on the Speedway. And Mr. Johnson's going to be looking to try to race his way up and into victory lane. That's Wade Burris right there in front of him. Jackie Whaley there as well, as they're getting a little slow here on the racetrack. They know that this warm-up session's quickly coming to a close, and we'll get ready to duke it out. We'll get ready to get these drivers off. As there we go. There's a great look here. at that beautiful DWR, the Dirt Warrior Racing League Tommy Gun Customs number 8 machine. That's the Jurassic Shark ride of Tyler Jackson. T-Jack will be our pole sitter. We'll see him at the front of the field here for a lot of laps this afternoon, but a great looking car, beautiful looking ride out there on the speedway, and it's going to be a lot of fun to see what he can do here in this car. Let's see if we can get another angle at this thing and get a little bit of a better look at the Jurassic Shark ride here. There we go. Woo! It's pretty snazzy, chat. It's a pretty snazzy looking ride right there. Pretty snazzy looking ride, I'm not gonna lie. I do like the Jurassic Shark. That thing is looking French out there on the speedway, man. That's gonna be a fast looking car, gonna be a great looking ride. We're glad it loaded in correctly this time for good old T-Jack. I know last night or Wednesday night he wanted to run this car. Unfortunately just couldn't quite get the load in right, but here tonight, man, he's looking good. He's going to be fast in this thing, man. It's going to be tough to beat this Jurassic Shark ride, and he's going to be looking to try to put it back up into victory lane as the Rough House Sliders Tommy Gun Customs Dirt Warrior Racing ride looking good here this afternoon, as each and every one of these drivers going to continue to duke it out, going to continue to battle here all evening long. It's going to be a lot of fun to see who's going to be able to put themselves up and into that top spot, who's going to be able to pick up the win here this evening, as a lot of these Tommy Gun Custom rides looking very, very good in there on the speedway. Ready to rock and roll, ready to go to battle, ready to duke it out here in this one. Is Evan Stefanski. What's good, Evan? Evan coming in with that heart reaction here as well. Evan says Sunrise Racing, baby, back on the best stream there is. Let's go, brother. Let's go, Evan. You know it, my boy. You know it, my boy, brother. Coming in, showing the love here in this one. I appreciate that. And Russ Harold also coming in with that like on the stream. Mama Bear says, nice looking ride, T-Jack. Beautiful looking ride there for Tyler Jackson. I mean, Tommy Gun rides, man, and Grumpy Graphics, a lot of these amazing painters and iRacing rivalries that they can create, man, are absolutely amazing, man. They can absolutely kill it every time. I know, Jim Revis and Joseph Pratt, those guys work their butts off and create some absolutely amazing rides out there on the speedway, and we can't thank them enough for the work that they do and everything else, and we can't thank all the drivers enough for supporting them and making it. As leaderboard taker is lagging for some reason. Yeah, it lags during the warm-up session there. I just didn't want to refresh it. Should be good now. Should be fine now for the feature event. That's all that really matters. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Our main feature event about to get underway. Drivers getting loaded into the sim, but the driver looking for the win here this afternoon. It is that DWR, the Jurassic Shark ride, the 8 machine of Tyler Jackson. T-Jack will start in this pole position. To his outside in the number 18, it's Kyle Surratt, and down in third, it's Muscles himself, the Steve's Landscaping Sunrise Racing number 15. It's Steven Stefanski who will start there in third. Marcos Pace to his outside in position number 4 is the TNT Racing 5.6 graphics ride, ready to go to battle with Jacob Stefanski back there behind him. The Tommy Gun Customs number 7X ride rolls there in position number 5. Starting in position number 6 in the 71H, that is William Hargreaves. Hargreaves back there in position number 6 here. We're going to see Jeremy Aikens, the 720 of Jackie Whaley. Then we see Lon Franks and Dale Farnes back there in row number 4. Row number 5 is going to have the 38 ride of Justin Johnson and the number 2 machine of Cameron Stefanski rounding out our top 10. Lane Phillips, Adam Oxley, Kyle Moyer, Cade Moreland, Bryce Dickinson, Stephen Baru back there in position number 16. Then we see Tyson Pankow, Wade Burris, Tyler Jackson, T-Jack back there in 19th, and Eddie Farnes in that beautiful Fast Eddie number 21 ride. The DWR machine back there in position number 20. So T-Jack going from qualifying in that pole position to now at the back of the pack, and unfortunately for T-Jack here, he's going to have to try to work his way up and through the field and try to put himself back into this battle. We'll see Kyle Surratt down pit side here, not out there on the racetrack to start this feature event, and Tyson Pankow is taking his car down and off the racetrack. So it's going to move Steven Stefanski, Marcos Pace to the front row as we get ready to rumble here in this one. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you came here for a show. Well, here you go. As live from Oswego Speedway, it is the Dirt Warrior Racing League Trinity Series. As here we go, back to battle as we end all the anticipation with our feature presentation as we are quickly green flag racing. It's Steven Stefanski leading Jacob Stefanski down and out of core number 2 and down the back straightaway here at Oswego. They head down into core number 3 nice and easy as the Sunrise Racing rides lead us around the racetrack and back down out of 4 and across the line. It's Steven Stefanski who leads lap number 1 here this afternoon. So Steven Stefanski out in front, Jacob Stefanski right there behind him. Hargreaves right there in position number 3 as Marcos Pace, unfortunately, in that DNT Racing ride, slides back now into position number 4. He's going to be looking for more here on the racetrack as he wants to try to battle back up into position number 2 and go after our race leader, but he's going to have some work to do after getting that 7 and 71 around him here. He's going to have to try to battle back strong as there's still door-to-door right there behind him. As you see that 7 right, Jeremy Aikens down to the inside, trying to make the move around the 720 of Jackie Whaley. Whaley just keeping pace there, having a great run down through the middle there in 3 and 4. Looks like the B a little bit clear of that 7 right. Elects to stay in the middle lane here. Does not jump down to the inside. Leaves it open there for Jeremy Aikens as the 27 of Dale Farnes and Lon Franks right there ready to pounce. Justin Johnson, the beautiful TNT Racing number 38 ride, back there in position number 9 with Cameron Stefanski rounding out our top 10 out there on the racetrack. Lane Phillips, Adam Oxley, Cade Moreland there in that 13 ride, and there we go. You see the Alpha Shark, the Jurassic Shark ride here this afternoon. It's T-Jack Tyler Jackson. He's worked himself now up into that 13th position as down the back straightaway that 13 machine of Cade Moreland running into some of the issues there, getting up into the outside fence, unfortunately falling back a couple spots, but for T-Jack able to make another pass, another move, now up into 13th and looking to keep on racing his way back up towards the front of the field. After starting this race back in the 20th position, he's got a lot of work cut out for him as we do see Eddie Farnes back here, and he's battling, Eddie Farnes and the 18 ride of Kyle Surratt, both these drivers battling back here deeper in the field. Now it does show Kyle Surratt potentially a lap down if they're on the racetrack, not making it out to start this feature event. Unfortunately for the 18 ride, he's going to be looking for a couple caution flags, trying to get himself back onto the lead lap here this evening, as he was supposed to be our second place driver on the starting grid and unfortunately missed the call there to jump out onto the racetrack and now finds himself a lap down and all the way back in the 20th position in that number 18 ride. Is Jacob Stefanski able to take the race lead away? Steven Stefanski slides all the way back now into position number 4 as he slides backwards. Unfortunately, now going to make some contact here. Him and Marcos Pace come together. Marcos going to go around. Caution flag on the racetrack. T-Jack makes it through. Kyle Moyer, Wayne Burris, Bryce Dickinson all able to slide through there as Marcos Pace, see that heavy damage there on the front end of this 47 right now up into the outside fences, trying to get this thing turned back around as him and Steven Stefanski make a little contact here. So Steven's going to take a big run down to the inside here, and unfortunately, he's just going to come in with a big head of steam here. As you do see that, actually, yeah, right there, you see the 47 right. He actually bounces it off the inside fence right here. If we take another look at this one, another angle, we'll see this number 47 right as he enters into core number 3. Watch that left front right about here. He's going to make contact right there with that wall. It just kind of bounces the car off the inside lane up into the slick stuff, but it kills all of his momentum. Unfortunately for Steven Stefanski, can't get checked up quick enough and slides in there, gets a piece of that left rear quarter panel of the 47. That just gets him sideways there on the racetrack, and as he goes around, he noses it down into the inside fence, gets even more damage onto that 47 right. Then you see everyone trying to get through there. Good piece of driving by Justin Johnson. Justin just able to squeeze through there with very minimal contact. Let's see if we can jump on board here with that 38 right of Justin Johnson. See what he can see from the cockpit of this 38 machine. As he heads down the back straightaway here, he's got Lon Franks and that 27 of Dale Farnes right in front of him, and all of a sudden there's going to be a car parked right in front of him. He has a choice, go high, go low. He goes low and just able to squeeze through there as there's still some contact there even after down the front straightaway there. Looked like some pretty good damage between the 15 of Steven Stefanski and the 27 right of Dale Farnes. Nonetheless, we get ready to go back to battle. We get ready to duke it out again here in this one. As here we go, Jacob Stefanski getting ready to go back to battle here this afternoon as Jacob leads leads the way here in this one. The Sunrise Racing Tommy Gun Customs ride. Out in front, we'll see that green flag fly again here at Oswego Speedway. And Jacob Stefanski quickly back onto the loud pedal. Steven Stefanski trying to get right back to his rear bumper here. He was a bit of a benefactor of that caution flag. Unfortunately, does have a little bit of front end damage, but now has that preferred line down low, looking to slide in front of William Hargreaves and take position number 2 back away from the 71H. And here comes Jackie Whaley. Here comes Jeremy Aikens right there in that fight. You do see that 27 ride at Dale Farnes. He's missing the front bumper on that 27 ride, and he's not scared to continue to use the bump bar there underneath the bumper cover as he went 3 wide down out of corner number 2 right there, and all over the back bumper of Jackie Whaley as Dale Farnes trying to work his way towards the front of the field. You see Justin Johnson making some moves back here in that TNT Racing number 38 as look out Lane Phillips getting very tight right there into corner number 1. Slides up the racetrack here, and unfortunately he's going to open the door down low. Cameron Stefanski going to try to roll around him. Now here comes Adam Oxley in that 357. Here comes that 8 ride of Tyler Jackson. Jack still scored back in position number 12, but still trying to work his way inside the top 10 out there on the speedway. Cade Moreland right there, as well as Kyle Moyer, Wade Burris, Marcos Paints back there, now in the 16th position after being a part of that caution flag. Goes to the rear of the field as Eddie Farnes and Bryce Dickinson battling back here, 17th and 18th on the racetrack. Brycey Bear jumped into the broadcast before this race got started and told us that he's not a huge fan of this racetrack. Says he just can't quite get the hang of it, does not like it, and does not seem to get good runs here. And we're hoping that throughout this 65 lap race he can figure something out and get this 84 wide point in the right direction and start working it towards the front of the field. But right now he's struggling back in the 18th spot of the speedway. Is out in front, it's Jacob Stefanski. Jacob continuing to lead the way. Jacob continuing to show these drivers how to get it done as Steven Stefanski right there behind him. 1 and 2, it's Stefanski's at the front of the field. Hargreaves back there in 3rd with Jackie Whaley. Dale Farnes now R.5. Jeremy Aikens right there in that 6th position with Lon Franks, Justin Johnson, Cameron Stefanski, and now Jack Tyler Jackson down low looking to take position number 10 away from Lane Phillips. Phillips going to wash up the racetrack right there. T-Jack is going to slide up and around him, and Tyler Jackson now back inside the top 10 after having to take the EOL, going from the pole position to the back of the back here for that 8 ride, the Jurassic Shark Machine, and all of a sudden he's trying to just battle his way up through the field here. Phillips now back into 11. Kyle Moyer right there in position number 12. Marcos Paints battling his way back up through the field after getting spun around there through 3 and 4 to bring out that first and only caution flag in this race. Says Paints there in 13th. Adam Oxley right there behind him with Cade Moreland. Wade Burris battling here with him. Eddie Farnes now into that fight. Same with that 84 rider. Bryce Dickinson if they're starting to reel back in the back of the pack here. See if they can start to navigate their way up towards the front of the field. But out in front, showing these drivers how to get it done now with a 1 second lead, a 1 second advantage out there on the speedway. It is Jacob Stefanski. And Chad Peterbow coming in showing the love. What's good, Chad? Chad coming in with the heart reaction. Play for Jeets dropping that thumbs up. Amy Marie Stefanski with the heart reaction. Jake Stefanski with that heart reaction and the share as well. Thomas Dennis and Dakota Brown coming in with those likes as well. As Amy says, Stefanski boys, let's go. And Dakota Brown says, let's go Sunrise. Cheering on all the Sunrise racing rides out there on the speedway. As Chad says, hey, I missed tonight. Awesome work as always. Peace. I appreciate that, Chad. Appreciate you tuning in and showing the love here in this one, brother. As man, it's been good so far. Only 1 caution flag, a lot of door-to-door action, and now we start to see this, oh man, the Jurassic Shark ride. D-Jack, he is coming in a quick hurry. Where did he come from? He was just making the move for position number 10 on the racetrack. Now all of a sudden he's up inside the top 5. So he must feel it is time to shine out there on the speedway. Only 20 laps into this race, but the Jurassic Shark now up into 5th, looking for position number 4 here as he looks to steamroll around the outside of Jackie Whaley. Whaley going to slide back into that 5th position, and for T-Jack now up inside the top 4 on the racetrack. Jacob Stefanski continuing to lead the way. Steven Stefanski and William Hargreaves back there in position number 2 and 3 on the speedway. They got a little bit of a gap back to that number 8 rider, Tyler Jackson, as T-Jack going to try to look and hunt him down as Jeremy Aikens there in 5th. Jackie Whaley back in position number 6. Dale Barnes, Justin Johnson doing a great job. Has been in this 8th position for most of the afternoon as Lon Franks back into 9th. Kyle Moyer there in 10th. Marcos Pace now up into 11th with Lane Phillips, Cameron Stefanski, Adam Oxley. That 21 of Eddie Barnes now into 15th as he's got Wade Burris all over his back bumper. Burris trying to work his way back inside that top 15 as Cade Morley there is 17th with Bryce Dickinson. Brycey Bear in that 618 Engraving and Designs. HNL, Papa Mike Promotions, Mama Bear, number 84. Ryan rolls there in that 17th spot now as he takes that 17th spot away from Kane. Kane slides back into 18th. Kyle Surratt in the JP Designs Bulletproof Motorsports ride there in 19th. Stephen Baru back there in position number 20. His TNT Racing ride, unfortunately, not having the run that he was hoping for. And Tyson Pankow down on pit road and not out there on the racetrack. Unfortunately, rolled out there for the start of this race, but did not take that green flag. As here we go, T-Jack continuing to make the moves. Now around his DWR teammate is the Dirt Warrior Racing I flag. Number 71 of William Hargreaves going to let that 8 ride go by. T-Jack will slide up and into 3rd, and here he goes looking to try to hunt down the Paris Stefanskis at the front of the field. And T-Jack can't catch him if he can make these moves. If we stay clean and green. Right now, he's the fastest car out there on the speedway, but could be burning up his equipment. It's what's good, James? Mr. Beavers, what's good, James? James coming in, showing the love here in this one. Says, what's up? And dropping that like on the stream. Johnny Ratley coming in with that like as well. And says, shout out to William Hargreaves. Happy birthday, bud. Yo, it's Hargreaves' birthday. What in the world, Will? Happy mother fluffing birthday, brother. Happy birthday in the chat right now. Let's get some happy birthdays up in the chat right now for Mr. William Hargreaves. Hargreaves turning a young 21 here this afternoon. Actually, I don't know how old Hargreaves is. I'm going to say he's 21, though, with the 71 out there on the speedway. Happy birthday, Will. Hopefully you have yourself a wonderful birthday. Hopefully you've had a wonderful birthday already, and hopefully it continues on tonight and whatever you do or get up to. And then hopefully we see you have a wonderful Easter weekend as well, as Hargreaves right now sits in position number 4 and looking for more. He's starting to hassle that back bumper of Tyler Jackson here once again as T-Jack kind of stalled out right there after getting around that 71H. Hasn't really made too many moves back up towards the rear end of that Sunrise Racing number 15 to Steven Stefanski. And Steven starting to close in on that cousin of his there, the 7X ride here of Jacob Stefanski. Starting to see that lead evaporate. Steven closing that gap here quite a bit. It's down to about 0.7 of a second. And after going into almost a 1.5 second lead, it's cut in half now with that 15 ride. Maybe starting to feel the pressure from Tyler Jackson and Hargreaves. Some of these drivers starting to, run to his back bumper here, starting to find their way towards the front of the field. And for that 15 ride, he is definitely feeling that hurt right now, as we do see Tyler Jackson. T-Jack, he's running into some connection issues out there on the speedway. He's blinking. Here he goes. He blinks, comes back, blinks, comes back. There he is. He's back again. This is definitely going to be affecting him and some of these other drivers out there on the speedways. We did see Marcos Pace climb the outside fence here in corner number 4. See if there was any contact. Just looks like he washes up the racetrack and unfortunately gets up a little too high. Gets up into that outside wall. The car just climbs up on top of the fence there. A lot of front right damage there to that number 47 machine. Unfortunately for Marcos, the TNT Racing ride, he's going to probably have to take that down pit side and try to get that thing repaired, as that's going to be some pretty solid contact, pretty solid damage to him, but he's sticking with it. He ain't coming down pit side, but he's feeling the hurt right now as you see that 98 right away. Burris is going to go around, pointing the wrong direction, still rolling after on the racetrack. There's the caution flag. Yellow flag on the racetrack is Wade Burris. We've seen this 98 ride, that rear end really kicking out and around out there on the speedway. He's got Bryce Dickinson down to his inside. Marcos Pace there to his outside. Sends it into quarter number 1 here. Unfortunately, very sideways, and that car's already going around right there. Unfortunately for Kyle Surratt. Cade Moreland, nowhere for them to go. They help him go around, and unfortunately with him still pointed the wrong direction, Stephen Baru coming in there, that's where that caution flag is going to be thrown. So our second yellow flag of the day, and that's really going to mix things up here even more as we're going to get ready for another restart, another opportunity for drivers to try to navigate their way to the front of the pack to try and take this race lead away from the Tommy Gun Customs 7X ride out there on the speedways. Jacob Stefanski looking to try to keep this race lead, trying to keep all these drivers back there at bay as man, oh man, oh man, these guys have been putting up a heck of a fight, heck of a battle out there on the speedway, man, as we'll get ready to see these guys go to battle once again, see them duking it out here on the speedway as, and the bots over there on Twitch are absolutely insane, brother. Hilarious. All right, well, here we go. Getting ready to go back to battle here in this one. You still see T-Jack down on the apron here. He's pulled down to the inside now. I don't know if that's, you know, if it's able to work and try to cool those tires down a little bit, but you do see that 8 machine still blinking pretty heavily out there on the racetrack, and now that is really going to affect all these other drivers as they're trying to restart, as they're trying to get going or wanting to battle here with that 8 ride. Unfortunately, the connection issues, they may just drive right into him and not even know he's there. If he blinks for too long, they're not going to have an idea of where he is on the racetrack or how far away they are from him, and you still see him blinking there as they roll down through corner number 3 and coming back to the green flag here in quarter number 4. Now, he's hoping that it clears up, stays good out there on the racetrack. Unfortunately, we'll have to wait and see as here we go. Back to battle here at Oswego Speedway as we're about halfway in, halfway to go here this afternoon. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we're going to jump into a quick Peacemaker Gaming Crank It Up. So crank up that volume and cheer on your favorite drivers as we crank it up here on Peacemaker Gaming. Cautions breeding cautions. We saw some mayhem out there on the racetrack as it looked like Jackie Whaley and a bunch of these other drivers unfortunately getting tied together as Jackie rolling back at about the 5th position on the racetrack, sends it into the corner, unfortunately sends it in there a little too deep, drives into the back end of William Hargreaves. Hargreaves nowhere to go there. He's just sliding sideways now in the middle of the racetrack as the 720 up and into the outside fence. Everyone just trying to figure out a way to get through there. Hargreaves somehow gets pointed back in the right direction as here comes that 357 right into the back end there of that 720 right at Jackie Whaley. Then he's going to get taken out by Kyle Surratt. You see Bryce Dickinson luckily enough able to avoid that calamity there on the outside of corner number 1 and 2. Unfortunately, heavy damage there for Jackie, heavy damage for that 357 ride as these guys just all get tied together, man. Heavy hits out there on the racetrack and a lot of tore up race cars here on the speedways. Watch this 720 ride, sends it into the corner, just gets in there way too heavy, gets into the back end of Hargreaves, and then that's where things just get all sorts of messed up here, and lots of drivers just getting absolutely pile driven there into corner number 1 and 2 on the racetrack in a lot of tore up race cars once again out there on the speedway, and that will put us back under the caution flag, our 3rd yellow flag of the day, as we'll get them all stacked up, racked up, ready to go back to green flag racing as Dylan Simmons. What's good, Dylan? Dylan coming in, says, let's go Sunrise Racing, cheering on the Sunrise Racing rides out there on the speedway, and right now seeing 2 of those Sunrise Racing rides at the front of the field as he's ready to see them try to pick up this checkered flag. Denver Henderson there coming in with that like on the stream as well. How are you, Denver? Denver showing the love here as ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you haven't already, make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that follow and subscribe button as here we go, getting ready to go back to green flag racing, and we'll go back to our Peacemaker Gaming Crank It Up. So crank up that volume, cheer on your favorite drivers as we duke it out here this evening. Kyle Moyer, every one of these drivers in tow as we go back to green flag racing here at Oswego Speedway. again here in corner number 1. Heavy hits out there on the racetrack. A bunch of tore up race cars here again on the evening as see Bryce Dickinson, Lon Franks, Lane Phillips, a lot of these drivers getting some absolutely insane damage as it starts up towards the front of the field. The 15 ride of Steven Stefanski trying to hold on to second out there on the racetrack because Hargreaves out to his inside. The 8 ride of Tyler Jackson, and it just looks like they're going to run out of room right there. That little bit of contact. Watch the Jurassic Shark ride. Gotta get shoved into the middle here. So he's just ever so slightly underneath that 15 ride. Hargreaves comes up the racetrack, makes contact with T-Jack. They come up the track into the 15, which spins him down over the nose here of William Hargreaves, and down into the inside fence goes that 15 ride. Heavy hit there for him, and then you see the 71 gets turned around, and everyone now just trying to avoid him. Everyone trying to get up and out of the way, and unfortunately it looks like a little farther forward here. These drivers just going to run out of room up there around the racetrack as it looked like the Tantalon Frank's getting tied up here. Looks like Frank's trying to get checked up here, sends it in there, sees all this mess happening, and unfortunately Fast Eddie going to get into his back end, kind of gets him bent out of shape, but he gets checked up. Then he gets turned around by Lane Phillips. Bryce Dickinson nowhere to go in that one, as well as Brycey Bear going to get absolutely shredded up right there as well. Heavy contact there for Brycey Bear, and a lot of these other drivers see Wayne Burris slam into that. The 47 ride, he's going to get collected as all these drivers trying to find their way through all this action, trying to find their way up towards the front of the field, and unfortunately it's just not going to work out well for them. There we go. There's the contact. 29 into the 21, then 29 up into the fence. Bryce gets into the side of the 21 ride. Then here comes Wayne Burris sliding in there. They're still bouncing, beating, and banging off each other. And, oh, man, a lot of damage for all 5 of those drivers collected. Hard contact there for Hargreaves and the 15 rider Steven Stefanski as... Man, couple caution flags here during this Peacemaker Gaming Crank It Up as the Crank It Up curse going to continue again here this afternoon, and nonetheless we will get ready to go back to green flag racing. The paint truck once again off of the speedway, and here you go. It is Jacob Stefanski, Tyler Jackson 1 and 2 on the speedway, and Justin Johnson now up and into third. The TNT Racing 38 rider Justin Johnson looking to see if he can try to pick up this checkered flag here this afternoon. Would be a great run there for JJ out there on the speedway as T-Jack hanging strong to the outside here of Jacob Stefanski there, door to door up there for the top spot. Stefanski trying to clear him, the 8 ride, trying to keep it pinned there to the outside lane as they're still battling side by side. Back down across the line, that time across the line, we get a new race leader, Tyler Jackson, just barely out in front, going from the penthouse to the outhouse at the start of this race, then going from the outhouse and now to the penthouse. What a rise and fall and rise again for that number 8 rider Tyler Jackson. He may have to change his nickname from the Alpha Shark to the Phoenix as he is risen from the ashes here this afternoon, and T-Jack out in front of the field leading the way but still battling hard here with Jacob Stefanski. Stefanski not going to let him just run away with it, not going to let him take this one and run into a big dub again this afternoon. Stefanski battling hard down low. T-Jack up on the high side. They're still door to door here at the front of the field as Justin Johnson and Lon Franks duking out for position number 3 out there on the speedway. Jeremy Aiken's going to slide his nose into that battle. He ends up making a little contact right there with that 38 rider Justin Johnson. That's going to slow him up just enough for Lon Franks to get another good run down to the inside, and slowly but surely here comes Kyle Surratt. Surratt qualified in P2, missed the start of this race, went a lap down, has gotten that lap back in now, even with the damage on his race car, working himself back up through the field. Some more contacts, some more carnage back here deeper in the pack. His drivers just running over top of each other, bouncing off each other. Stephen Baru hard up into the outside fence here. He's slow on the racetrack. Looks like he's going to try to get stopped right there, hoping to see a caution flag. Should just probably keep that car rolling out there on the speedway, but there is the yellow. So the caution flag is going to fly here as we saw a lot of carnage out there on the racetrack, and unfortunately a lot of drivers getting tore up here. We'll take a look and see what happens here as Steven trying to keep that 45 right, put in the right direction here. He's got Bryce Dickinson on his back bumper down the back straightaway. Gets a little squirrely, gets a little bent out of shape, then sends it into corner number 3 here. Slides up the racetrack, gets up into the outside fence, and unfortunately as he's in that outside wall, see Bryce Dickinson just trying to cut down the racetrack and around him right here. unfortunately just not quick enough to get down and out of the way. As you see the 45 up into the fence, the rear end actually kicks out into the 84 rider. Bryce Dickinson, really nothing that he could do, and then still losing that handle of the 45 ride. Goes around here, ends up getting a big piece of that 21 ride, and up in front of him we see more contact as the 13 and 29 Elaine Phillips up into the outside fence. Marcos Pace going to drive into that one, actually drive up almost into the window net there of the 29 riders. Let's see if we can take another look back at that one as well. As unfortunately here, let's see if we can play this back here even more. As Stephen Burrow and a couple of these drivers just slow on the racetrack, trying to get rolling again out there on the racetrack, and that's where we see that caution flag fly. We're looking for Lane Phillips. Why don't I see Lane? There's Lane. Okay, so Lane's up on the high side right here, and unfortunately here for Lane, he just sees 3 wide right there. Contact down low, then they get stuffed up into the outside fence. Marcos Pace nowhere to go. The 13 ride, heavy damage there as well. And there you go. You see Marcos gets turned around. He's pulling the wrong direction. Heavy damage again on that 47 ride. And for a pair of the TNT racing machines, they desperately needed that caution flag. And luckily enough, they got it. As here we go, getting ready to go back to green flag racing here in this one. And this time with 25 laps left to go, we are going to continue on and try to finish out our Peacemaker Gaming. Crank it up. Upside down goes Lane Phillips. A big hit here in corner number 3 and 4 for the 29 ride. Luckily enough, Lance back on all 4 tires, able to keep on rolling out there on the speedway. Unfortunately, heavy damage there for him. Big hit for him out there on the racetrack. As you watch this 21 ride up in front of him, let's see if we get another look at it here as the 21. That is Mr. Eddie Farnes here. Eddie down on the bottom side of the racetrack here. Unfortunately, looks like this car just gonna get up a little bit too high, maybe into the outside fence right there. Just lose that rear end, comes around it. Unfortunately, backwards on the racetrack, just gets a piece of that 29 ride. Just hooks him up and around he goes and upside down for that 29. Big hit right there for Lane Phillips. Let's see if we can jump on board here with this 29 ride. See what he can see as down through corner number 3 and 4. Things were looking good for him until they weren't. Oh, baby, that's a heck of a ride there at a corner number 4. And unfortunately, maybe needs a new pair of shorts out there on the speedway for that 29 ride, as Lane Phillips definitely did not see that one coming. Unfortunately, pretty heavy damage there for him as we'll get ready to go back to Green Flag Racing. That will do it for our Peacemaker Gaming cranking up here this afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. If you haven't already, make sure you guys do us a favor, man. Hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that follow and subscribe button, as we're going to get ready to go back to battle here as the Jurassic Shark Tommy Gun Customs Dirt Warrior Racing League's number 8 rider Tyler Jackson out in front, leading this race. T-Jack trying to pick up the checkered flag here this afternoon with Jacob Stefanski right there behind him, as now we see Lon Franks into position number 2. Franks was able to jump up and get around that 7X ride, and now it's a DWR 1 and 2 on the speedway. The Sunrise Racing Tommy Gun Customs 7X ride of Jacob Stefanski back into 3rd with Kyle Surratt right there in 4th. The TNT Racing 5-6 Graphics number 38 ride of Justin Johnson there rounding out our top 5. As here we go back to Green Flag Racing here at Oswego Speedway, as the 8 of Tyler Jackson quickly back onto the loud pedal, gets a little love nudge right there from that 10 ride of Lon Franks. Franks trying to get him a little bit loose, trying to find that extra little bit of gear here as he's able to quickly roll back into the throttle, clear that 7 ride of Jacob Stefanski, but Stefanski sticking right there with him, not letting him get away. And you see Kyle Surratt using that outside lane up, and he has bounced off that wall a couple times. Luckily enough, has avoided heavy and serious contact and damage there for him, as out in front this battle. It is tight, and it is continuing to brew here as T-Jack doing everything he can, trying to hold them off, but they are wrecking down the back straightaway. Big wreck here on the backstretch. Bunch of drivers tore up, a lot of drivers absolutely tore to shreds. Adam Oxley, Marcos Pace, Stephen Burrow. You see a couple other drivers in there as well. Kyle Moyer, William Hargreaves, looks like he gets tied up in this one. A bunch of drivers, unfortunately, just nowhere to go out there on the racetrack. Heavy damage here. Let's see if we can take another look back at it and see what happens as the 71 right down low. Looks like he's going to get into the 2, then gets nudged into the inside fence right there, and unfortunately, as he goes around, it just kind of makes everyone wash up the racetrack, and as everyone does wash up the track here, you watch them all, they just kind of come right up the speedway. Adam Oxley here on the outside lane, nowhere to go, slams into the side of Kyle Moyer. They get up into the outside fence. Heavy damage there for Steven Stefanski, the 720 of Jackie Whaley, Marcos Pace, Bryce Dickinson all collecting it. Wade Burris in there as well as he slams in there. Everyone just getting some pretty solid damage back there deeper in the field. And for that 357 ride of Adam Oxley, he goes up and over. Luckily enough, does a roll back onto all 4 tires, and luckily enough, he'll be able to keep on battling out there on the speedway, but he does have that car down pit sign. Serious work having to be done to this 357 ride. Heavy hit, big flip right there in corner number 2, as it's got to hell in a handbasket here. The second half of this race, as the cautions have been flying, and these drivers in their cars, man, they have been flying as well out there on the speedway. Lots of drivers going airborne here late in this race, as he is still down pit side, and unfortunately could go multiple laps down here trying to get that thing repaired. As out in front, T-Jack, Tyler Jackson, going to get ready for another restart, another opportunity to try to keep these drivers back there at bay. Did he burn his equipment up too much, trying to work himself up from the rear of the field to get to the front of the pack? We'll have to wait and see how this one plays out. As Jacob Morgan says, let's go. Jake Stefanski cheering on Stefanski out there on the speedways. What's good, Mr. Laboon? Jordan coming in with the like on the stream. Jacob Morgan coming in with that thumbs up as well. Here's Johnny Nolan. Johnny coming in, smashing that like as well on the broadcast. As here we go, back to Green Flag Racing here on the Good Friday of Easter weekend. It is a DWR clash from the past here, as these drivers all once upon a time paddled on a weekly basis out there on the racetrack. No drama, nothing but fun, and it's finally back, and you guys get to enjoy it here 3 nights a week, at least twice a week, here on Peacemaker Gaming as we broadcast the Wednesday and Friday night shows. And here again this afternoon, trying to sweep these 2 broadcasted races here this week. It's Tyler Jackson, T-Jack, looking for another big win as more contact and carnage deeper in the field. The caution flag is going to come back in. So caution flag back out into the air. 3 wide battle of back here, and unfortunately looks like they're going to get tied up and tore up out there on the racetrack again, as Farnes right in the middle. Looks like Wade Burris getting a little bit loose in contact in front of him. It's that 13 ride going around right there. Tough break right there for the 13 machine. Now, I'm not too sure who that is again. That is let me take a look here. Cade Moreland. So Cade Moreland in this 13 ride is the one that's going to kind of get things started off here. We'll see if there's some contact. If he gets a little help out there on the racetrack to go around, or if he just kind of loses that rear end out there on the speedway as the 13 ride rolls up into the high side of the racetrack. And then, yeah, just looks like getting back on the throttle. Rear end kicks out and round off. Bounces in the lane, fills, bounces back up into that 3 wide battle, which shoves Wade Burris, the 47 ride, a Marco's Pace, Eddie Farnes, all these drivers just up and into that outside fence. Really nowhere for them to go, and once again heavy damage for all 5 of these cats out there on the racetrack. Big damage, heavy damage. Stephen Baru also going to get tied up in that one again. It's been a tough night for those 2 TNT racing rides. The 47 and 45 have had no luck at all here this afternoon. Multiple times getting tore up out there on the racetrack, but their other teammate up there towards the front of the field, Justin Johnson. Justin rolling in position number 5, trying to keep himself right there, trying to maybe gain a couple more spots here and put himself up onto the podium here this afternoon as the TNT Racing 5.6 graphics 38 of Justin Johnson. JJ there in 5th as T-Jack in front. On Franks, Jacob Stefanski, Kyle Surratt, Justin Johnson, Cameron Stefanski, Jeremy Akins, Dale Farnes, Jackie Whaley, Steven Stefanski are top 10. Bryce Dickinson back there in 11th with Kyle Moyer, Wade Burris, Lane Phillips, Marcos Pace, Stephen Baru, Cade Moreland, rounding out our top, I do believe, 17 out there on the speedway. As we do see, unfortunately, Adam Oxley, he's a couple laps down now in that number 357 ride. You'll see William Hargreaves off the racetrack in his 71. So a tough break there for Will on his birthday. Definitely going to be a tough one. As Tim Taylor says, dang, missed this one off work today, so I thought today was Saturday. Oh, no, brother. Oh, no, yeah, that could definitely mess you up. It felt weird to me having today off as well. Definitely was not right. As here we go. Back to battle. T-Jack out in front, looking at trying to capture victory lane here at Oswego Speedway. As he is out in front, it's his teammate in the DWR, number 10, right along Franks, who's trying to hold on to second as Jacob Stefanski continues to work down to his inside. They're door-to-door for position number 2, and that's exactly what T-Jack wants to see. He wants to see them continue to battle there for that second position on the racetrack and allow him to kind of run away with this one, try to open up a lead and pull away from both of them out there on the speedway. But the Sunrise Racing, number 7 X-Ride, he wants to keep pace with that 8-Ride, wants to be able to get around this 10 car and go after T-Jack for this race lead, but he's quickly running out of time to get it done here. Still looking to try to clear that 10 machine as Love Frank's gonna keep him pace down low there. Unfortunately, does not get the corner exit that he's hoping for out there on the speedway. And for that 7X of Jacob Stefanski, I don't know what he's gonna have to do to try to figure out a way to get around this 10 ride, but he is having a real hard time right now. And now you start to see that 18 ride up Kyle Surratt. Surratt getting into this battle. Unfortunately, now you see Justin Johnson running into problems. Justin up into the outside fence. Heavy damage there for that TNT Racing number 38 ride. Still in the outside fence as he goes from inside the top 5 now to the back of the pack here on the speedway. Heartbreaker right there for him as looks like he's going to try to pull this car right down pit road, and that's exactly what he's going to do. That was a heartbreaker, no caution flag, but unfortunately now all the way back in the 18th position as T-Jack, Tyler Jackson out in front, but now you do see Stefanski and finally been able to clear that 10 ride along Franks, and now trying to close that gap, trying to reel in that 8 ride of Tyler Jackson, but he still has that 10 of Lon Franks, the 18 of Kyle Surratt right there nipping at his heels, and here comes Dale Farnes. Farnes now in the position number 5, Cameron Stefanski having a great run. He's there in 6 now. Jackie Whaley, Jeremy Aikens, Bryce Dickinson in the 84 ride. In the 15 or the 11 here, battling door to door. That's the battle for position number 10. Right now looks like just edging out in front. It is Steven Stefanski for that 10th position. Moving Kyle Moyer in the 11, back to the 11th position, but it's a dogfight back here. As each and every one of these drivers are trying to find their way up and through some of the chaos, through some of this mayhem, and now you start to see Marcos battling back into this fight as well. It's about his 4th or 5th car out there on the speedway after getting tore up quite a few times. Same with Lane Phillips and Andy Farnes, but here they are battling right back into the action. You see Kate Moreland right there, Stephen Peru back there as well in that 16th spot. Wade Burris back there behind him as each and every one of these drivers try to race their way up towards the front, and the heat is on for Tyler Jackson. He's got about half a second though between himself and Jacob Stefanski. Stefanski trying to reel him in. He's got Lon Franks though right there on his back bumper. One slip up, one wrong move, trying to figure out a way to work yourself up there and around some of the traffic here, and unfortunately start to move around a little too much. You can get rained or passed or slip up and lose a ton of momentum out there on the speedway, so you want to keep yourself very, very cautious out there on the racetrack, because we do see Cade Moreland go around as well. Looks like Cade's taking his car right off the racetrack and back down behind pit wall, so a tough break there for Cade in that crazy number 13 machine as Tyler Jackson continues to lead the way. Stefanski, Franks, Kyle Surratt back there in 4th. Dale Farnes trying to hunt them all down, but he's trying to hold off that 2 rider. Cameron Stefanski's Cameron trying to race his way up inside the top 5 on the racetrack. Kyle Moyer now into 8th as Steven Stefanski there in, actually Kyle Moyer now into 7th. Steven Stefanski now into 8th, and Bryce Dickinson trying to hang on to that 618. Engraving and Designs, Momo Bear, Papa Mike Promotions, H&L number 84 ride, as he's going to lose position number 9 as there goes Lane Phillips down to his inside. But here we go. Caution flag back out on the racetrack. Caution flag going to fly here late in this race. I think that was the last thing that T-Jack wanted to see, with only a few more laps left to go, and that's going to bring all these drivers right back to his rear bumper. As Jackie Whaley, the 720 ride, the Dirt Warrior Racing 304 Roots machine, going to run into some problems. A little deeper in the field here. Rolling back here, unfortunately, it just fallen outside the top 10 on the racetrack, and looks like he's just going to pull down to the inside of the speedway here, looking to take this car off the racetrack. And unfortunately, as he gets stopped on the racing surface, the officials right there going to look at it, call that caution flag, and unfortunately a late race yellow flag there. And I don't know if he is going to get some hate from his teammate from that one, as T-Jack Tyler Jackson, his DWR teammate, was out in front looking bound to try to just run away with this race. And now with another restart, we'll have Jacob Stefanski right back to his rear bumper. Lon Franks will be there in 3rd with Kyle Surratt and Dale Farnes, our top 5, getting ready for what could be our final restart of the evening. As ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you came here for a show. Well, here you go. As these drivers are going to get ready to battle it out. It is going to be an absolute dogfight here to the end. These guys are going to have to try and do everything that they can to, one, either hang on to their race cars, 2, try to make some moves and get a little closer to the front of the field, and that's going to mean a lot of elbows up, a lot of rubbing and scrubbing out there on the speedway. It's full fender racing for a reason, and these drivers are not scared to use these bumpers out there on the racetrack, and we may see a couple of the brotherly shoves here this afternoon. As here we go, back to battle. T-Jack out in front. He's going to be one nervous man right now, just hoping for a big restart, hoping to clear a couple car lengths down into that first corner as he could get a shot in the shorts in a quick hurry from that number 7X of Jacob Stefanski. Stefanski is not going to be a slouch here on this restart. He wants to put himself up into victory lane. He does not want to see T-Jack get another one, as here we go, back to battle here at Oswego Speedway. Stefanski with a great launch, a great restart, hangs right there with them. Their nose to tail down into corner number 1, nice and easy down through the first corner and out of corner number 2, back down the back straightaway. About a car length, maybe half a car length down into corner number 3. Stefanski still trying to hang right there with Tyler Jackson, not letting him run away with it. Is down across the line. They will click off another lap, and we'll see that white flag fly. One more time to go here at Oswego Speedway as the Jurassic Shark number 8 ride looking looking to make the move and pick up the checkered flag as Jacob Stefanski nudges the inside fence, now trying to play defense. Lon Frank's right there, but here comes Kyle Surratt around the outside looking to take second and third, but no one will beat the Jurassic Shark here this afternoon as T-Jack picks up the checkered flag here at Oswego Speedway. Tyler Jackson gets it done and beats all these drivers from the back row of this racetrack, man. He started at the back of the pack and raced his way all the way to the front of the field here. He had to earn this one and pulls himself up into the Oswego Speedway victory lane. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up here for the Alpha Shark, the Jurassic Shark ride, the DWR number 8 machine of Tyler Jackson as he picks up the win here this evening. A heck of a run, heck of a performance there from this Tommy Gun Custom 7X ride of Jacob Stefanski. Stefanski right there trying to make the move down to the inside. Unfortunately got a piece of that inside fence and that busted up his plan to try to get down low and try to make a move around T-Jack there on that final lap. And unfortunately then him and that 10 rider Lon Franks rubbing and scrubbing down the back straight away into corner number 3 and out of 4, and they duked it out right down to the start finish line. But it's T-Jack who's able to pick up the win, able to pull himself up here into victory lane, and we'll get ready to pull our top 3 up and into the broadcast booth here for their post-race interviews. Man, what a run, what a race, and what a show here this afternoon, man. These guys put on a heck of a battle for us, man. That was a lot of fun. Mama Bear says, way to go, T-Jack. Cheered on Tyler Jackson here this afternoon as we're going to get ready to hop in here, pull T-Jack in for his post-race interview. Hey, Tyler, it's Aaron up here at the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth. You get a copy? Hey, Tyler, you got a copy? Interesting. Hey, Tyler, it's Aaron up here in the booth. Do you get a copy? Huh. Where's he at, chat? Where's he at? Hey, T-Jack, you get a copy? He still don't got a copy, chat. He still don't got a... Trying to connect. Okay, he's trying to connect. Okay, his connection may be too bad, maybe. That could be it. That could be it. I know Discord sometimes, if you're having internet issues, and T-Jack was having some internet issues, maybe potentially just trying to get connected here to the Discord server may be a tall task for him here this afternoon, and we'll have to wait and see if he can get connected, if he can jump in there. And in the meantime, what we'll do is we'll try to pull in our second place driver here, as we do see Jacob Stefanski down pit side. Let's see if we can pull Jake up here for his post-race interview while T-Jack tries to get connected. Hey, Jake, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth. Do you get a copy?
Yes, sir.
Jake, man, strong run, strong race, looking fresh again out there on the speedway in that 7X ride. Leading some laps here this afternoon, had a very strong car, but late in this race just seemed like you didn't quite have enough there for T-Jack. You're trying to get down low, you're trying to give him a shot there. Unfortunately, got a piece of that inside fence right there down out of corner number 2 and created a little chaos there for yourself, trying to just hang on to that second position. But, man, you were trying to give it to him, trying to find a way to get around him there, just couldn't quite find an opening to beat that Jurassic Shark ride here this afternoon.
Yeah, you know, I caught the wall when me and T-Jack were running side by side for the lead right before that one caution that gave him the lead. When he was up top and I was on the bottom, right before that caution come out, I caught the inside wall a little bit and I had some wheel damage, and he was just trying to kind of hang on. The car wanted to turn real hard left pretty much the rest of the race, but I didn't try to give him a shot there at the end. I mean, I was kind of trying to keep it lower because he was sliding up a little bit there, but I caught that inside wall, and then the car really wanted to turn left, and I ended up apologizing to Lon there because I wasn't trying to block him down at the bottom there. I just couldn't hold the car straight at that point. But, you know, that's kind of one of the things I pride myself on the sim here is running clean, and D-Jack, he was able to hold onto it on the bottom there. I think I had a little something for him. I just, you know, by the time I wasn't battling side by side with Lon there, and I was able to get back, you know, behind and have a little bit of freedom to run the line I wanted to and kind of back off my entry, I started kind of picking up a little bit on him at a time, and then we got the caution again, and you know, it's hard to kind of get back into that pace. after a restart, even with a green white checkered. And I'm, like I said, I'm not about to send it in. And me and T-Jack are, we're good friends, so I'm not going to send it in there and move them. So I'm happy running second to some of the fastest guys on the sim, and just having a good night and having fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Having fun, having a good time out there on the racetrack. Looked like this one was a blast here this afternoon. Obviously, a very tough racetrack, but a bit of a home track here for you guys. You guys aren't too far away here from Oswego Speedway. I know you guys tend to like to go down there and experience some of the Super Dirt Week action when they have it every year. And, maybe a little bit of a home track advantage here, maybe not, but definitely showing a strong car all night long.
Yeah, I mean, it was, Oswego was, it was a good track for us. Like you said, Super Dirt Week. It's technically a home track for my brothers and my cousin nowadays because I live down in North Carolina. But I've always been real fast here when we run these dirt street stocks here at Oswego. I've always kind of just been able to keep real good pace here and find some speed and. It's always a good time to come back to this track because you never know what line's going to come in. I usually end up sticking to the bottom, but the slider's always really quick here too at times, and even the top I've seen come in real good too.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely a lot of different lines. A lot of fun out there on the speedways. You pull that number 7X right up and into position number 2 here this evening. Jacob, who'd you like to thank for such a great run and strong performance here this evening?
First, I'll shout out T-Jack. Congrats on the win. Got to thank my guys over at Sunrise Racing. Just shooting to have fun every time we show up to the racetrack. Got to thank Steve's Lawn Care. Got to thank Tommy Gunn. He made this new 7X ride. It's looking real sharp. So I got to shout out to him for getting me this cool new paint. Thank you for doing the broadcast. You do a great job, and I'm always glad to like and share and support all you do, man. You do a great job. Got to thank the guys over at DWR for hosting these races, giving us a place to race. I got to thank my wife for always watching and supporting. She's always got the stream on and always cheering me on and supporting me in these.
Absolutely, brother. Well, we're glad she watches, glad the family watches, and cheers you guys on night after night after night as we see you guys out there on the battle, duking it out here now for, a couple nights a week, and hopefully seeing it continue on and seeing you guys continue to battle here for many and many more races and more great runs for yourself, and more trips up here, not only into the broadcast booth, but some more trips up into Victory Lane as well.
Absolutely, man. Thank you.
Absolutely, Jacob. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon. Have a great Easter, and hopefully we'll see you back up here in the booth on Wednesday.
Yes, sir. You have a good night, man.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for our second place finisher, Jacob Stefanskis. Jacob coming home there in position number 3, the Tommy Gun Customs 7X ride, always looking fresh out there on the speedways. Adam Oxley, what's good, Adam? Adam coming in showing the love, says, thanks for broadcasting. Sucks that there were several running in over their heads. Yeah, unfortunately, definitely some calamities, some caution flags, and some chaos there late in this race, and we saw you get tied up in a couple of those ones out there, Adam. A tough break for you out there on the speedway, but hopefully you had some fun. Hopefully you enjoyed your Friday night on the sim, and hopefully we'll see you back out there in a little bit. What's up, Alex? What's good, Mr. Allworth? Alex coming in says, Arrow, what's good? Been a while. Yeah, it's been a while, Alex. How are you? How you doing? Hopefully you're having yourself a wonderful afternoon or a wonderful night now, I guess. Hopefully you're having yourself a wonderful night, Alex. How are you, brother? Coming in, showing the love here in this one. Actually, I guess I shouldn't say brother. He's a cousin of mine, Alex, coming in, showing the love here in this one. As ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let's see if we can get our race winner up here into the booth. The 8 rider, Tyler Jackson, T-Jack, coming home here in the top spot. Let's see if he's got his Discord working and see if we can get him up here talking in the broadcast booth. Hey, Tyler, it's Aaron up here in the booth. Do you get a copy?
Hey, I gotcha.
Beauty, there we go. Tyler, man, what a run, what a drive as you're able to pull that Jurassic Shark ride back up into Victory Lane here this afternoon, man. How does it feel to be able to go back to back here on our Wednesday and Friday night shows, able to race your way from the rear of the field and put yourself up here into the top spot again this afternoon?
Yeah, man, I almost was going to wait to run a different track with my EOL just because I thought it'd be just one lane on the bottom, and made a lot of good ground up first, I don't know, 15 laps or something on the bottom. I think we got probably the 10th. And then all the guys got better. The top 10 got better. And then it was just a rolling roadblock. There was a guy on low and there was a guy in the middle. And finally, I just said, to hell with it. And we're just going to throw it up top. And that thing just took off like a rocket. Man, we gained a lot of speed up top. I've never ran the top here like that. And it was just kind of a Hail Mary thing. But I don't know. I was backing the corners up kind of like some of these other guys do that been a little quicker than me the last few years. Or last few months, I'd say 6 months. And it seemed to work. It doesn't make sense to throw the car in that hard, but it was working. So we kept with it. And then I got to apologize to Steven Stefanski there. I just watched the replay and me and him and William kind of came together. I almost tapped out because I thought it might have been my fault. I didn't really want to tap out because something about it from in-car didn't feel right how it went down. And then I watched the replay and William kind of came up into me and it was kind of just 3 cars meeting in one spot. So still apologize to him. Definitely wasn't on purpose. He was having a good run, but yeah, thanks to Jacob for running me clean. He's really good wheelman here. This is probably his best track. So to beat him here really, really made me happy from the back. Did something different with our wheel settings that we've never done here, and it seemed to pay off.
Definitely paid off here this afternoon as you put yourself up and into victory lane. T-Jack, another great run, another great race, and as I said, Stefanski right there in your back bumper late in this race. Obviously, you were pulling away, had over a half a second lead between yourself and that 7X ride, and staring down the barrel of that white flag, and all of a sudden the caution flag gets thrown late in this race. What was kind of going through your mind there, as that yellow flag came out, and when you had to try to, get restarted and keep these guys back there at bay for a green white checkered finish?
Yeah, I mean, I really couldn't believe that I was kind of walking away from him there with, I don't know, 10 to go, and I was barely in the throttle. Not even probably 50% even on the straightaways, and it was working. And then you have those restarts, and then your nerves get in your head. So I found myself spinning the tires off the corner and not doing exactly what I was doing prior to that. And yeah, he was right there. I mean, the last lap there, I think he even had a better run into 1 and 2 there. And I don't know if he clipped the wall or just got into me or what happened, but we got lucky that we didn't get spun and we didn't collect both of us. But yeah, it was luck. A lot of it was luck again tonight. Some of these tracks have seemed to be widening out a little bit more, which is nice. Actually had a couple grooves here tonight, which we've been lacking a lot in this game. So happy for that. And yeah, happy we get to take a photo of the Jurassic Shark. The flyer will not be a teal car with yellow wheels. That was pretty embarrassing seeing that on the flyer.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely didn't like to see that one. But tonight, it all works out perfectly for you. The paint's working perfect. The car's working perfect. And yeah, get yourself a perfect run from the back of the pack to the front of the field to pick up the checkered flag here in our 3rd race of the week with the Dirt Warrior Racing League Trinity Series, and being able to get it done here at Oswego Speedway. T-Jack, who'd you like to thank for such a great run and great drive as you're able to pick up and capture this victory?
Yeah, all the guys at DWR, Joseph Pratt for giving me this awesome looking wrap. I just threw him an idea, and I think he was a little skeptical at first because he's kind of a perfectionist. But he did a little of his own spin on it, and I think it actually looks better than the Explorer in the movies. So yeah, shout out to him. You for the broadcast as always. Top 3, Jacob and Lon. Just I have a lot of fun racing with these guys. It's for the most part it's really clean, and you don't really see many tempers flare or anything in this series, and it's kind of nice compared to some of the others.
Yeah, absolutely. It's always fun when you can jump out there, just have fun, have a good time, not having to hear all the bickering back and forth and the complaining or seeing the Discord and all the insults or anything else fly up and through there. So it's always good. It's always refreshing to see just good camaraderie out there on the racetrack and everyone getting along and having some fun out there on the racetrack and just enjoying the time on the simulator and in these races.
Yeah, and shout out to Jim Revis. I know his computer's been down, so he hasn't been able to race with us. That really sucks for him. This is, he runs the league, and this is kind of his baby. So hopefully he gets that all squared away. Maybe he's watching on the stream tonight. But yeah, thanks for the broadcast as always. Can't wait to go back and watch it. And they can't call me a bottom feeder tonight, so that's worth something.
Absolutely, brother. Well, T-Jack, congrats on the win. Congrats on the great run. We can't wait to see you back out there on the racetrack next Wednesday. Hopefully see you right back up here in the booth. If not, or, we probably won't see you until then, but enjoy the rest of your night. Enjoy the win here this afternoon, and hopefully have yourself a wonderful Easter.
Yeah, and happy Easter to everybody who's celebrating that, and we'll see you next week.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for Tyler Jackson, T-Jack, able to pick up the checkered flag here this afternoon, able to put himself up and into victory lane. What a run and what a drive there for that number 8 ride, as we'll get ready now to pull in our third place finisher. It is Lon Franks. Franks coming home here in position number 3. Let's get him up here into the broadcast booth for his post-race interview. Hey, Lon, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth. They get a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Lon, brother, another great run, another strong performance for you here in that DWR number 10 machine as you come home in position number 3, but it was a hard-fought one here in this one as, you and Jacob, T-Jack, Kyle Surratt there late in this race just duking it out there on the Speedway.
Yeah, I was giving her hell, trying. I just taken the lead, and the caution fell and gave it back to T-Jack, and then never could get it again, man. But it wasn't for lack of effort, that's for damn sure.
Yeah, definitely not a lack of effort out there on the racetrack as you guys were wheeling these things around the speedway there, and obviously with some beating and banging, a little bit of rubbing and scrubbing, it's full fender racing, and looked like you guys were having a lot of fun, looking like it was a blast out there on the racetrack, even with some of those late race caution flags, just giving you guys more opportunities to battle door to door out there on the racetrack.
Yeah, for sure. Now that over time we've been getting rid of, people that just drive like assholes and whatnot, and it's turning out to just be killer races, man. Every time we have them, so I can't complain whether I'm podium or not. It's been killer racing, absolutely killer. So I definitely can't complain.
Absolutely, some amazing racing action, some amazing battles out there on the racetrack, and one late there at the end as you were trying to stick on the back bumper there of that 7X rider, Jacob Stefanski. Stefanski was trying to find a open door underneath the Tyler Jackson. Unfortunately, he gets into that inside wall and kind of gets checked up right there. You kind of know where to go. You guys get tied together. Surratt comes up there on the outside lane. What was kind of going through your mind there on that final lap as you watch that 7X ride bounce off that fence, and then you guys kind of make a little contact there on the back straightaway?
Yeah, when he hit the fence, I was like, sweet, and I stuffed my nose in there, and I thought I got him, but he did a good job of catching it quickly and covering his line, and I just kind of had to get back in line. But yeah, Surratt almost got me there when I checked up for Stefanski. But it was good stuff, man. We were rubbing and whatnot, but there wasn't nothing asshole about it, man. That was good stuff.
Yes, sir, it was. Lon, great run, great race. Coming home here in position number 3 again tonight, man. Who would you like to thank for another amazing performance out there on the racetrack?
Absolutely. I got to give a shout out to Jim Brevis for doing all the marketing, flyers, winners posters, all the posts on the websites and stuff. Jackie Whaley, just my partner in all this, trying to make this happen. So give them guys a shout out. Grumpy Graphics, BladeNode.com, iRacing iFlag, Martin Sports, BCR Sim Products, 304 Roots, J&D Trucking, Junk Fabrication, JRE, my whole team at DWR, you for broadcasting, all the fans, followers, and friends, and I appreciate it.
Absolutely, brother. Well, Lon, another great race, another great run out there for yourself here this afternoon, brother. We can't wait to see you guys back in action next Wednesday and see you potentially right back up here in the broadcast booth, maybe a couple spots better and up in victory lane. Lon, enjoy the rest of your evening. Congrats again on that third place run, and hopefully you have yourself a wonderful Easter weekend.
You too, Aaron. You have a good one, man. Happy Easter to you.
Absolutely, brother. Enjoy the rest of your night.
You too, bub. Later.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for our third place finisher, Lon Franks. As Franks coming home here in position number 3. Heck of a run, heck of a drive right there for that number 10 ride. As Lane, we did get you out there. We did see you and Brian C. Bear dipping and diving out there on the speedway, having some fun out there on the racetrack. Is huge shout out as well. I forgot to mention that. Huge shout out to my boy Justin Toll. Justin coming in with the 100-star dono here this afternoon. Huge shout out there to Justin showing the love here in this one. As ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you haven't already, make sure you guys do us a favor, man. Hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that follow and subscribe button. Even if you're rewatching the broadcast, we're no longer live anymore. Make sure you still drop a couple comments, hit that like button, hit that share button if you're feeling courteous, and obviously, you know, hit that follow and subscribe button. Become part of the Peacemaker family here today. Turn those bell notifications on. That way you never miss it when we go live here on Peacemaker Gaming. As we'll see you guys back in here in a couple days here. I do believe tomorrow night we got nothing planned. We're off tomorrow evening. We may do a little stream. We may get something going on tomorrow night. Maybe we'll just you know, play some Call of Duty or do something off stream, or maybe we'll get something going tomorrow evening. But if we're not live tomorrow, we are off on Sunday. I've got work Sunday, and then I've got family dinner and everything else for Easter Sunday afternoon, and that'll go into Sunday night, where I'll probably end up just crashing at my parents' house. So we'll be doing that, and then we'll be back in action probably on Monday, as I do believe we're back in action Monday night with our truck series. So could be a couple days off, could be back here tomorrow night. We'll have to wait and see how things play out and how I feel tomorrow after work. But nonetheless, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I can't thank you guys enough for tuning in. Brian, what's good, Brian? Brian, brother, how are you, mister? Coming in, showing the love, dropping that like on the stream. Craig Michael Deacon also coming in with that like as well. How are you, Craig? Or how you doing here this afternoon, my boy? Is here we go, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for tuning in, and we'll catch y'all on the next one, man. Peace and love, ladies and gentlemen. Peace and love. Enjoy the rest of your night. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and hopefully you guys have yourselves a wonderful Easter. Peace out. Peace and love, baby. Woo! What a run. What a race. What a drive.
Rip the night burning bright, yeah, no stop. Wheels screaming, spit that fire, dirt and gravel, they pop. Oil slick under the street lights, the shadows start to dance. Adrenaline like thunder, man, give me that last chance. Wednesday night, street fights, racing for the win. Broken steel and busted dreams, we wear it on our skin. Smell the fumes, taste the danger, hold tight to the wheel. This ain't no love song, baby, this is raw real. Crowds gather up like wolves, howling for that speed. Races, blood pumping, fast gasoline is all they need. Tracks alive like a monster, the dirt flies and bends. Ruthless turns, heart turns savage till the night ends. Wednesday night, street fights, racing for the win. Broken steel and busted dreams, we wear it on our skin. Smell the fumes, taste the danger, hold tight to the wheel. This ain't no love song, baby, this is raw real. Underneath the moonlight, crowds roar so loud. Pride's in the throttle, not in faces of a crowd. A brotherhood of metal, sweat, gears that grind. Cross that line or get left behind. Cold air cuts the dawn, still our fires rage. Holding bruises like trophies, exhaling battle cage. The stands are empty now, but the ghosts they like trophies exhaling battle cage. The stands are empty now, but the ghost